Hi, I'm Barry Ayling from ZENOVA Group. We're here at the West Moors Training Centre and we're looking at using our wildfire barrier in an area where you might have a high risk of ignition from disposable barbecues. So we've got two setups here. One is untreated on the left and treated straw on the right. And what we're going to do is we're going to set these barbecues off and leave them as if they were going to be discarded and see the differences. So this is where our WB fluid could be used in areas of high risk barbecue areas, around bins where people leave them and they're discarded. So hopefully this test will show the benefits.
Yeah, hi, my name's Roy Betancourt. I'm a general trainer at West Moors Fire Behaviour Training Centre. Both barbecues were lit. They were set onto the actual straw mounds and we just lit them and waited for the conductive heat to sort of penetrate through. This, you can see, was rapidly going through. We lifted up each barbecue and you could see the devastation in the long run. This one hadn't even touched. In fact, you can see all that was there was just a bit of a partial burn underneath on the straw. We weren't content with that. We had to sort of see if we took some of the embers over to there, whether they were blown, because it's quite windy today, so this actually could have been, in a real scenario, blown embers onto another spot. So we set those embers, laid them out all along there, and it actually did start to burn, but the burn patterns were really interesting, where this one just burnt and just spread out widely. This one just followed a narrow channel, but you could see it just wasn't sort of building, and even before it got to the barbecue it actually stopped and it self-extinguished. So from a firefighting perspective it's actually stopped it, which is marvellous. That's incredible.
My name is Andy Elliott. I'm a serving firefighter with 39 years service. I'm also a senior wildfire researcher at the University of Exeter, and I run my own wildfire training and consultancy business. I'm here today looking at the benefits or otherwise of ZENOVA wildfire barrier, and we've just had two separate fires. One on to my right was a pile of straw that was untreated. The pile on my left, which is mostly still remaining, was straw that was treated with ZENOVA wildfire barrier. In both cases we then placed a lit barbecue onto those piles to see what the effect would be. So the effect of the conducted heat coming through the base of the barbecue was adequate eventually to generate a lot of pyrolysis, this nice clean white smoke that appears from fires. That eventually reached a point where it was able to auto-combust. And once we had a transition from smouldering combustion to flaming combustion, the entire site was consumed. That's as expected, really. What was not really expected was the other fire didn't ignite at all through the conduction of heat from the barbecue into the straw. We have some small damage here, and that was the result of transferring some of the hot glowing embers from the original fire onto this pile to see if we could get ignition at all. There was some ignition, but the fire intensity was much less. We had perhaps 1.5 meters flame length on the fire to my right, whereas on this side we only had a few centimetres of flame length in fire intensity. That means the fire is much easier to control, and in fact it's self-extinguished very, very quickly. So the ZENOVA wildfire barrier really did do a good job here. It actually prevented ignition in the first place. When we introduced ignition, it self-extinguished, so that's really quite impressive.
It really shows the powerful benefits of the ZENOVA wildfire barrier for areas where people could discard barbecues. You could pre-treat barbecue areas with this, and that could stop wildfires starting and spreading.